Blog Talk Radio.
Here we go. Blast off.
This is True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
I am your host, the man they call Ghost.
The badass of business.
Give him capitalism or give him death.
That's it. Period.
Broadcasting from his Skyline office studios in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas.
You sound fruitier than a box of Fruit Loops, for Christ's sake.
And now, he'll take it from here. Your host, the prognosticator of prognosticators, the man they call Ghost.
That's right, folks, and thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. This is episode number 247 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like for everybody to please bookmark the official website of the True Capitalist Radio Show. It is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And if you haven't already done so, folks, please follow me on Twitter. The Twitter name to follow is Ghost Politics. Or excuse me, not Ghost, Politics Ghost. Excuse me, Ghost Politics is suspended, excuse me. But Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow, all right? Politics Ghost. Anyway, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. We've been having such a great time with all these free format editions of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. So I decided to go ahead and do it again, baby. And the reason I'm doing this again, folks, is because everybody seems to be appreciating the free format edition. People get to call up. People get to talk about what they want to talk about, ask questions, so on and so forth, folks. So we're going to do this again and maybe tomorrow because we're having such a good time at it, baby. You understand what I'm saying? And we're seeing a lot of numbers. Like I said, we're topping off at about 60,000 live listeners, and we'd like to get that to about 150,000, 200,000 listeners so we can be the most consistent live broadcast podcast on the internet, folks. So if you haven't already done so, there's all kinds of little buttons next to your player right in front of you there. Facebook like buttons, retweet this button, social media buttons. Use and abuse those buttons, baby, and spread it around like wildfire. That True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, folks. Believe it or not, we are at about 60,000 live listens, and that doesn't include all the folks that download on the podcast that can't tune in with us live. And I want to thank you for your patronage, folks. I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. All right? This is always a fun broadcast. I'm going to wait until about maybe May, maybe June time to maybe extend this show 3 hours like it used to be, folks. All right? I mean, that's just all there is to it. I mean, the demand is overwhelming, and I appreciate it, and I hope that you have a good time. It's the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and I want to talk about what you want to talk about today. But before we get into that, I'd like to discuss a few things that have been in the news, first and foremost. I want to talk a little bit about how Donald Trump was asked the transgendered bathroom question, folks. And if you haven't already heard about this, somebody obviously cornered Donald Trump into the whole bathroom transgendered question. And what I don't understand is why even pose this to Donald Trump? I'll tell you why. They were trying to put Donald Trump in a corner because, you see, it seems to be the issue of the day for folks to get their damn faces in the media. All right? Haven't you noticed all these people that are canceling their North Carolina tours, canceling their North Carolina visits, because of this supposed discriminatory bathroom situation that has happened in North Carolina. Now, what Trump said, for you folks that are unaware of what he said that transgendered should go into any bathroom they want. Now, let me explain why he said that, all right? Because had he said anything else, the mainstream media would have been all over that garbage. You understand what I'm saying? This is a red herring issue, all right? I mean, this is what the media is trying to do. If he'd have said anything else, it would have been all over the media that this guy is against trannies and he's against gays and he's against this and he's against that, which is absolutely not the case. And I'd like to underscore, folks, once again, I mean, I hate to keep beating this goddamn issue, but once again, I don't know what the LGBTQ community's obsession with going into the bathroom of the opposite sex. It's just a complete obsession. I don't get it, folks, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, in my personal opinion, I believe that there's some level of perversion twisted with this. But like I said, if you're a transgender, all right, and you are trying to be a woman, all right, and if you genuinely look like a woman, if you go through the whole transformation process, and that doesn't mean cutting your wang off, all right, but if you go through the whole transition process and you actually look presentable, or what do they call it, passable as a woman, no one is going to be questioning whether you're going into the goddamn woman's bathroom or not, all right? Now, I want to say this and reiterate this again. If anyone is questioning you, maybe, just maybe, trannies, you need to step your damn transgender game up because you're a little lazy, all right? I mean, that's all there is to it. All right, now what this law in North Carolina is trying to do, it is trying to prevent people that are trying to be cross-dressers, that don't live as women 24 hours a day. They're trying to prevent transvestites, which are individuals who only dress up as women for sexual gratification and still have their beards and still have their disgusting man bodies. These are the people that North Carolina is trying to prevent from going into women's bathrooms. I mean, that's just all there is to it. All right, once again, if you're a trans testicle and you're just not passable enough, well, then you need to step your little tranny game up, all right? You're lazy, all right, trannies? All right, if you're not passable enough for nobody to clock you, then you need to step your little tranny game up, all right? That's all there is to it. All right, I mean, listen, if you were genuinely feeling like a woman, all right, if you're one of these people that believes that,
I always felt like a woman. I mean, ever since I was 6 years old, I used to dress in my mommy's clothes, and I used to go and I used to wear her high heels, and I always thought I was a little girl.
Well, if that's the case, fruity ass, why don't you go and fulfill the whole obligation of the tranny endeavor, all right? Why don't you actually look like a woman and step your game up and step your chain up, for Christ's sake, man? I mean, I'm serious. I mean, listen, you have nobody to blame if people can clock you as a man than you, trannies, all right? Y'all want equality, y'all want this, y'all want that. Hey, if you want to actually look like a woman, then actually look like a freaking woman, all right? I mean, this wouldn't be a debate. Do you understand? If you actually look like a woman, no one would question why you're going into a woman's bathroom, all right? I mean, give me a freaking break. So once again, I think that Donald Trump is just kind of, bypassing this issue, and I don't blame him, for Christ's sake, because this shouldn't even be on the debating table on the political stage, to be honest with you. But you see, the media's harping all over it, folks, and once the media harps on it, you've got these idiots in the entertainment industry harping on it, because every time they're canceled their tour date, their concert date, their comedy date, or whatever the case might be, they put their mugs on TV. It's free media, all right? This has nothing to do with you trannies, all right? All you trannies that are, getting a little bit tingly feeling in your nutsack because you see Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam canceling their concert. You see, what was that idiot that got hit by the Walmart truck? Tracy Morgan. He canceled his little stupid comedy tour over there. All kinds of people canceling their tours, and the only reason they're doing it, folks, has nothing to do with the whole tranny question. It has everything to do with putting their stupid mugs on the boob tube so that they can justify themselves as some sort of political activist and basically expand their base of consumption. You understand? I mean, people are so stupid and goofy, and that's why these individuals think that they can capture the absent-mindedness of the general American public with these red herring issues. All right, so once again, folks, I'd like to reiterate that the whole reason why Donald Trump went into this whole idea of entertaining trannies going into whatever bathroom they want to is because this is what the media likes to do, is trying to trap Trump, trying to, put him in a corner. Had he said anything else, it would have been the headline, all right? It would have surpassed even Prince dying today. And if you haven't already known, folks, the artist formerly known as Prince, or whatever he used to call himself, died today. And everybody's like in mourning right now, but that's great. But we'll get into that in just a second. I just want to finish up on this transgendered bathroom issue because I think it's rather perverted, with all due respect, that these LGBTQ people are obsessed with going into a bathroom of the opposite sex. I mean, is this really an issue that's affecting the entire world, for Christ's sake? I mean, it's pathetic. It really is pathetic. And once again, if you're one of these trannies that does not look like a woman, and yet you're trying to go into a woman's bathroom, expect opposition, all right? You need to step your little tranny game up, all right? If you don't look like a woman and you look like some disgusting drag queen or some filthy damn transvestite, well, then step your goddamn tranny game up, for Christ's sake, man. I'd be questioning you if I saw some disgusting cross-dresser or some damn transvestite with a Fu Manchu and a dress walking his ass into a goddamn woman's bathroom. I'd say something too. I'm not joking. I'd say something too. I'd say, hey, what are you doing, boy? All right, give me a goddamn break. This is a man here. That's a man. That's a man, baby. So once again, folks, if you're a tranny and you're, harping on this particular issue, you need to get over it. I hate to quote the closet homosexual of John Kasich, but he recently said that, all these homosexuals, they gotta get over it. I mean, with all due respect, all right? The LGBTQ have a whole bunch of issues that they refuse to acknowledge, and I'm going to repeat it once again because I think that people that in the LGBTQ community need to realize that there are far more grave issues than worrying about going into a freaking bathroom, all right? Like, for instance, I have suggested this before. There are people on Craigslist right now. If you go to your damn Craigslist casual encounter section and take a look at male for male, all right? Take a look at male for male. Look at all the fruit bowls on there that are showing their asses off. It's X-rated, folks, so please be careful, all right? It's X-rated. They're showing their asses off. They're looking for random sex encounters, and on top of which, count how many of those people are looking for sex with no condom, all right? Yeah, I'm serious. I mean, I think that is more serious of an issue to the LGBTQ community than worrying about going into a freaking opposite sex bathroom. All right? I'm serious. I mean, I'm really disturbed by the fact that you have these random sex hookup type situations. Not only on Craigslist, you have apps for this crap too. I mean, I think I alluded to this a couple of shows. Grindr. Have you ever heard of freaking Grindr, for Christ's sake? I mean, this is an application you can download on your goddamn phone, and you can find a bunch of perverts within a 5 to 10 mile radius from you, so you can get a random access hookup within a matter of 5 to 10 minutes. All right? And once again, folks, I mean, if you search these ridiculous hookup sites, the majority of these people that are homosexuals do not want to practice random sex with protection. They don't believe in condoms, for Christ's sake, man. So once again, folks, I think that is more of an important issue to the LGBTQ community than worrying about whether or not a tranny can go into a woman's bathroom or some fat, disgusting, greasy, bull-nosed bull dyke going into a men's bathroom, all right? I mean, there's far more important issues than that. And moreover, folks, what I also find disturbing is that the homosexual community, the LGBTQ community, has no emotion about death. All right, I'm serious. I mean, you should see these people out here in Austin. I mean, every time one of these LGBTQ people die of the AIDS or die of complications of the lifestyle, so to speak, it's no big deal. No tears, no nothing. They maybe say an RIP for about maybe a night at the club or something, and that's it. They could care less, for Christ's sake, man. They could care less. I mean, so I think that's also another issue that the LGBTQ community should also worry about. All right, the fact that they could care less about their own lives because they're out there having random sexual encounters with no condoms, and moreover, the fact that they could care less about death. their own death, other people's death. They could care less. I mean, they're truly soulless, and I think that's what the LGBTQ community should soul search for itself, because it's obvious that, you know, and I don't mean to say this in like an insulting manner, but it seems to me from pure observation that the LGBTQ community has no soul for themselves, nor do they care about the sustenance of their community. All right, I mean, because if they did, they would be out there passing out condoms, you know, talking about safe sexual practices. But instead, you know what they do?
Oh, you have to know your status. All right, so get tested. All right, go know your status.
I mean, great. You know your status. Great. How about practicing safe sexual encounters, fruit bowls? I mean, Jesus Christ, stop worrying about what bathroom to go into and worry about protecting your life and your fellow fruit bowls' lives, for Christ's sake, man. Jesus Christ. I'm serious, man. Look, I don't mean to get off on this tirade about this anymore. We've talked about this over and over and over and over. But, of course, these people are harping on this issue, man. I mean, they're even trying to corner Donald Trump in this ridiculous red herring issue, and he didn't have nothing to do with it. And I'm glad that Donald Trump didn't take the bait and he just basically said, you know, hey, trannies, you want to go into whatever bathroom? I don't care. I'm worried about other crap, all right? I'm worried about China having trade deficits of over $550 billion a year on the United States, all right? I'm more worried about Mexico having a $55 billion trade deficit, all right, with America. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the wall, baby. I'm worried about ISIS coming in here from the migration situation in the Middle East. I mean, he's worried about, you know, smashing the hell out of ISIS, for Christ's sake. I mean, there are a lot more issues to worry about than whether or not a goddamn tranny can go into a freaking woman's bathroom or a greasy bull-nosed bull dyke going into a goddamn men's bathroom thinking that she can pee standing up, all right? There's more important issues than this crap. I'm serious, man. There is more important issues. So anyway, I'm done about that. That's enough. All right, I'm glad Donald Trump didn't fall for the bait. I do also want to talk about how Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, has died. And I don't know if you folks have been keeping up with the media as of late, but it was reported that he was hospitalized recently for the flu. Now, I know the flu can be a serious ailment, believe me. I mean, you know, the flu can literally knock you the hell out. But I'm speculating that possibly, and this is my opinion, that Prince had maybe an immune deficiency disorder to some extent, because 1 minute he's hospitalized for the flu, he comes out. Remember, he came on stage, I think, after he got out of the hospital at some small venue claiming that he was okay. And, you know, now all of a sudden the guy ends up dead. All right. Now, you know, I'm just speculating that the man may have had some kind of immune deficiency, because you don't just drop dead like that unless, you know, you've got a compromised immune system. All right. And moreover, folks, I mean, okay, great. You know, Prince was a musical genius like in the early 80s and the mid 80s. I mean, I can't think of any other songs post that. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, everything that he ever came out with after, you know, his, you know, stint in the 80s, you know, when he literally dominated the charts. He even made a freaking movie, for Christ's sake. I don't see why he's still relevant at this point, all right? I mean, okay, great. He made some great hits in the 80s. I mean, I'm proud of him, all right? I'm very proud of you, Prince. But with all due respect, everything else that you came out with after that has been pure crap. All right? I'm serious. I'm sorry. I mean, everything that he's ever came out with after the 80s and all that purple rain, and all that crap, it's crap. All right? I mean, seriously, man. I mean, everybody is, you know, acting like this man is, you know, we just lost Bob Dylan or something, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. All right? We get it. I mean, R.I.P. Prince, all right? Great. The only thing I am critical about with Prince is that he was such an anal retentive asshole as it related to his copyrights. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, try to search for a Prince song on YouTube and you can't find it, all right? Because the guy was such an anal retentive jerk ass as it related to his copyrights, man. And why? Because he knows that he didn't make diddly in music post the 80s, all right? I mean, it's just a fact. That's all there is to it. I know people are probably going to be like, oh, my God, I can't believe you're saying this. Oh, my God. Hey, it's the truth, all right? I know the truth hurts, assholes, but, I mean, come on, all right? I mean, look, R.I.P. Prince, all right? It's sad that he died. I'm sorry, but let's calm down, all right? Come on, all right? I mean, this guy hasn't produced a decent song in almost, 25 years, man. I mean, come on, Jesus Christ. I mean, who else gets this kind of props that hasn't produced garbage in so long? Seriously. I mean, I'm serious, man. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to, dehumanize the man or trying to spit on the man's memory, but let's be honest, all right? Let's stop, pretending that, Robert Plant and Jimmy Page died or something. I mean, come on, man. Jesus Christ. And on top of that, the previous night, last night, we had the wrestler Chyna. I don't really keep up with wrestling very much, folks, but to be honest with you, this Chyna is this humongous bodybuilder, half woman, half man wrestler died. And if you're not familiar with her, I don't blame you, but she was, partaking in WWE or something, for Christ's sake. And moreover, after she was no longer relevant to wrestling, she decided to become a pornography star. That's right. I mean, what's the next step up from goddamn wrestling? It's goddamn pornography, right? Anyway, it seems, according to speculation, or according to reports, that Chyna may have died of a drug overdose. And this goes to underscore how easily and quickly these wrestlers are dropping dead. Only in wrestling can you get away with this type of death without the government coming up in, your organization and crawling up your ass with a freaking microscope. Do you understand what I'm saying, folks? I'm not kidding around. I mean, how many more people have to die before we start recognizing that whatever they're doing out there in the wrestling industry is not good, all right? It's absolutely not good, all right? I'm serious. I mean, look at all the wrestlers that have died. I mean, they've died pretty young. I mean, I think she was 45. I mean, 45 is rather young, folks, all right? Seriously. I mean, you shouldn't be just dropping dead at 45. And same with Prince, too. I think he was 50-something. I mean, you shouldn't be just dropping dead at those ages, all right? I mean, once you start getting 65 plus, that's when the body starts breaking down. That's when you start realizing, oh man, I better stop the old bad habits. I better stop eating the juicy T-bone steaks. I better stop eating the freaking, the greasy fried chickens or whatever the hell you do. But in my personal opinion, man, I believe that something needs to be done about these wrestlers here. I mean, if this many people died in the NFL, I mean, we wouldn't hear the end of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm serious. I mean, you've got the government now trying to do all these studies and trying to tell the NFL to, hey,
there's a concussion risk, when you play football, so we got to do something about it.
No kidding, there's a concussion risk for football. Are you kidding? That's why you wear a helmet, for Christ's sake. I mean, I'm just sorry. I mean, something needs to be done out here, all right? Seriously. All right, I'm tired of, and not to mention, folks, I know there's a lot of wrestling fans that listen to me. I don't like wrestling, all right? I think wrestling is very immature. I think it insults my intelligence, all right? I think it's pathetic, to be honest with you, to see a bunch of muscle-bound men in their underwear wrestling around with each other, pretending, playing pretend. I mean, didn't we do this when we were like 10 years old, for Christ's sake? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Billy, I can wrestle you. I'm the Iron Sheik, man. I'm the Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers. I mean, give me a break, man. That's enough. All right, that's enough of this wrestling stuff, man. All right, that's enough. It's fake. All right, it's all fake. It's muscle-bound drama, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, look, I know that people are like, oh, my God, I can't believe he's saying that about wrestling. You need to grow up, all right? If you're over the age of, like, maybe 19 years old and still watching wrestling, you've got a couple of screws loose, in my opinion, all right? I'm serious. If you're still getting hyped, every Monday night to see Raw, if you're getting hyped to see WrestleMania or what's the other organization, TNA or whatever the hell it's called, then there's something wrong with you, in my personal opinion. All right. I mean, you're very easily amused. All right. I mean, this is all garbage. And not to mention, it's getting so bad now on wrestling that these guys don't even want to take a tumble anymore, man. I mean, it's so fake. I mean, they don't even want to bleed anymore. They don't want to, take a chair to the head anymore. They don't want to do this crap anymore, man. They're a bunch of pussies, all right? And it's fake. First of all, it's fake, all right? But secondly, they're emphasizing more of like this muscle-bound soap opera. You know what I mean? That's insulting my intelligence. I'm sorry, all right? I'm sorry. I know people are talking garbage that, don't talk that way about wrestling. Hey, there's nothing wrong with me, all right? I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't get off on seeing muscle-bound men in their underwear act like a soap opera and then wrestle around with each other, for Christ's sake. I just don't there's nothing intriguing about that whatsoever. And I'm sorry for you folks that, find that intriguing, find that entertaining. But if you want my personal opinion, I think that you folks need to get a life. All right? I'm serious. If you're over the age of 19 and you're still watching this crap, you need to get a freaking life. All right? I'm sorry. All right? I just can't stand this crap. You've got these people. It's a freaking muscle-bound soap opera, man. It's a muscle-bound soap opera, for Christ's sake, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, folks, I didn't mean to get on that soliloquy about the wrestling industry, but good God, man, can we get over this? Can you pieces of garbage grow up? All right, now look, don't get me wrong. If you got like a kid or something and you're taking your kid and, I guess, all right? I think that there's far more things that you can do with your child than partake in ridiculousness of muscle-bound capacity, all right? Just give me a freaking break. Good God. Anyway, folks, I want to take this time to go ahead and extend the rest of the broadcast to the people. Oh, wait. Before I do, I also want to talk about one more thing. I'm sorry. Did you see MTV release this Tupac video talking about Trump? Have y'all seen this, for Christ's sake? I'm telling you, what a leftist, feminist, communist piece of propaganda crap MTV is, all right? They found some old clip of Tupac being critical of Trump and saying, hey, man, you want to be rich like Trump, baby, you got to cheat, you got to lie, you got to steal, baby. Are you kidding me, Tupac? Is this the pot calling the kettle black, with all due respect and no pun intended? Tupac, all right, and let me tell you, I don't know if he's dead, and if he isn't dead, somebody should kill him, as far as I'm concerned, because he's a piece of trash. I'm serious. If this guy ends up not being dead, somebody should go from the real gangsterism areas of America and bust a cap in his ass. All right? But aside from that, Tupac, all right, and it's going to break all of your hearts too, folks, and I'm sorry if you're a Tupac fan, all right, but this has got to be said. This guy is a fake studio gangster. Do you understand that? This guy was an entertainment figurehead. This guy was not thug life, all right? He was a propaganda figure for the mainstream, lamestream media, for Christ's sake. And it's more than obvious. This moron Tupac had the audacity to sit over here and claim the West Coast. Y'all remember that East Coast, West Coast beef? And this moron was all, yeah, thug life, baby, West Side, West Side. Yeah, you remember that crap? Well, Tupac, folks, let's be honest. He was from New York. Do you understand that? He went to art school in New York. All right? How more fake studio piece of garbage gangster can you get? All right? Anyway, MTV released this ridiculous video of him being critical of Trump. And in my personal opinion, it is more propaganda by MTV, and I think it's pathetic. I can't believe, with all due respect to my black brethren, I can't believe you folks can fall for this thug life garbage when this guy, Tupac Shakur, who basically pushed this whole nonsense, had nothing to do with thug life until he became a millionaire, all right, until it was economically convenient to do so, all right? He is no different than, I've criticized Dre, I've criticized Snoop. He is no different than these studio-ass gangsters who are basically vehicles to push this ghetto-fied mentality and subjugate their own people. All right, I'm serious. I mean, look at what rap music has done to the black community of America. It has subjugated them into believing that collecting welfare is something to achieve in life. All right, being ghetto-fied is culture. All right, I'm serious. The rap industry and Jimmy Iovine, who basically funded Death Row Records, and all those other white and Jewish elitists are puppeteering the whole black community into extinction, if you want my personal opinion. All right? I mean, ever since this gangster rap garbage came about, more black people have killed each other than in any other time in American history. All right? And you see, you black folks are just taking it hook, line, and sinker by listening to this garbage and believing that what these idiots on the rap songs are saying are actually saying, for Christ's sake, man. Seriously. So once again, I mean, let's stop with the BS, man. I mean, let's stop playing pretend. I'm all about truth, for Christ's sake. Enough. All right, Tupac is not a real gangster. All right, he's not. I mean, he went to art school in New York. All right, and then when he moved to L.A., he didn't even have a place of his own. Did you know that he lived with Jada Pinkett Smith for a minute? When he went to the West Coast? Yeah. Why do you think Jada Pinkett Smith thinks she's such a contributing member to black society and boycotting the Oscars? Because she lived with Tupac, baby. I'm serious. I mean, look this crap up. You cannot make this garbage up. Jesus Christ. Anyway, MTV, just go shove it up your fruit bowl ass with this new unseen Tupac interview where he's criticizing Trump. I mean, if anybody should be criticized, it should be Tupac for exploiting his own people with degeneracy, with ghettoism, with criminality, with murder. This is the man that should be criticized. I mean, this guy made millions off of basically turning black communities into degenerate ghettos, all right? And it has everything to do with the music, all right? I mean, previous to the gangster rap era, previous to the Chronic album, previous to the NWA albums, all right? I didn't see this type of ghetto-fied ghetto degeneracy. All right, now don't get me wrong. There had always been poor, impoverished parts of the towns that, it doesn't matter what town you went into America, there was always impoverished parts of town. But the pride in degeneracy, I mean, these people are taking pride in ghetto-fied degeneracy, and it's because they have been anesthetized and brainwashed by the gangster rap music. And I think it's pathetic and disgusting and sick. And I have advocated that if anyone lost a loved one to gang violence, I would, get together with others and get a class action lawsuit and go right after Dr. Dre. All right, I'm serious. This guy's a billionaire now. He made himself $1 billion off of the backs and the graves of his fellow black brethren. I'd strongly advise you folks to get a class action lawsuit and sue Dre, sue Snoop Dogg, and all these other $100 million, billion-dollar men out here who exploited your community and completely hypnotized you into ghetto-fied degeneracy, all right? I'm serious about that. I am dead serious. Anyway, folks, that's it. That's all I want to talk about. I want to hear from you. 516-453-9903 is the number to call. It is another free format edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, folks. Anything goes. I want to hear from you. What do you want to talk about? All right? Now, let's go ahead and go right to the phones. 614, you're on the horn.
Hey, Ghost. This is Tub Guy out of character. There are some things that simply need to be said. May I have a few minutes?
Oh, go right ahead, Tub Guy. It's free format, man. Go ahead.
I say the following not on behalf of myself, but the chat room I host, as a bunch of us discussed some things last night. Most of the old trolls actually like this show. It's for entertainment, and it's really concerning that a lot of you can't separate fantasy from reality. For starters.
Okay.
Radio Graffiti is for everyone's entertainment. Quit using old content, Big Jack, and other stupid shit to get your own rocks off. This show, in addition to real life, rewards creativity and originality. And if you're lacking material, we made a page with tons of stuff to help keep the show entertaining. You literally have no fucking excuse. Third, leave fans of the show alone. Do not bring this shit into real life. Stop fucking doxing people, and if you've been doxed by ghosts, stop coming into our chat and talking garbage. We don't care about your attention-whoring bullshit.
Well, I'm sorry about that, Tough Guy. I tried to come back with, I tried to mend fences, but, the internet's, you know what I'm saying? So my apologies if, some of the garbage that's coming at me is coming at you guys, man. But, hey, this is the internet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you can just keep me on the line for later, I'd appreciate it.
All right. No, I appreciate you, Tough Guy. It's a shame that it has to go to this immature level. But sometimes, you just got to do what you have to do. It's really unfortunate that, the internet is comprised of a bunch of immature, dumbass trolls, all right? And look, like I said, it's all in good fun, Radio Graffiti and, the chat, the Twitter names and so on and so forth. But, of course, you got a lot of degenerate losers on the internet, folks. You have to remember. You've got idiots that are living in basements that their lives are completely ridiculous. They're pathetic. And what's unfortunate is that we have a society where our entitlement system is probably feeding these fat loser pieces of trash, all right? And that's why they have the time, the effort, the energy to just, sit on their fat jelly asses and go around and harassing people. And not just harassing people, but trying to threaten people, trying to threaten people with swatting their house, trying to threaten people and their jobs and so on and so forth, folks. And I think that it's ridiculous, all right? It's utterly ridiculous. And look, I know that I've been partaking in this garbage, and I didn't want to. I came back trying to say, hey, look, I don't really care what happened in the past, so on and so forth. But you see, the same idiots that have been doing this since like 2009, 2010, they can't get enough of it, man. They're losers, all right? They're absolutely losers. And the ones that aren't losers, because I've doxed a few that actually have some fairly decent jobs, all right? And they have girlfriends, so on and so forth. These individuals have screws loose, all right? They have genuine screws loose, and I have no remorse for unearthing some of these people that have genuine screws loose, all right? Because, this is just ridiculous, utterly disgusting, and, but that's the internet. I've been dealing with crap like this since 1993. People have been trying to come at me for a long period of time, and it really doesn't matter, all right? It really doesn't matter. I'm smart enough to be able to deal with this crap. It's unfortunate that a byproduct of it is individuals that are, going around and trying to harass, fans of the show. But all I strongly advise people to do is if you know who these people are, all right? And I know that there's a lot of people that are doing this that are in the same circle, and you know who these people are, all right? And if you fail to identify these people, if you want to sit here and sit on your thumbs and pretend that you don't know these people, well, then this may come back around to you too, all right? And you know who I'm talking about, you little circles, you little gamer circles, you know what I'm saying, you little fruiter circles, for Christ's sake. You all are following each other on your stupid Facebooks, for Christ's sake, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious, man. You guys are all on your freaking Facebooks, man. And not to mention, a lot of you people are actually doing the right thing and selling out your fellow sick, idiot, twisted troll brethren. And you should. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're harassing somebody on a freaking Twitter account and you're trying to mimic him or, trying to troll in that capacity, that's fine. That's great. It's all in good fun. But when you start trying to get people's real lives into it and so on and so forth, don't bitch and moan when your real life comes to pass and they start throwing garbage in your face, baby. You know what I'm saying? And, we see a lot of people that, they come at me, they say, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then when they finally get exposed, they want to kill themselves. And, I mean, give me a freaking break, all right? Anyway, I'm sorry, Tough Guy. I'm sorry to the individuals that are being afflicted by these loser trolls. But once again, I mean, anybody that I am posting as it relates to doxes, to trolls, I mean, these are the culprits behind a lot of the garbage that is happening. And I strongly advise, go at them full throttle. I'm not joking around. I mean, the only way that we are going to rid the internet of this type of harassing garbage is if we police ourselves. Because if we don't police ourselves, folks, the government is already waiting in the wings, man, to come in here and regulate this goddamn internet. All right? I mean, the FCC has already got it signed on the dotted line. They are just waiting for a system competent enough to be able to monitor the internet for such type of activity, folks. I mean, they're already slowly, incrementally bringing it into Europe. And I strongly advise for those Europeans that don't believe me, try to say something, all right? Try to say something against the government in Germany, Belgium, France, the Netherlands. Try to say something against the migration crisis and see if you don't have an authority coming to your door, all right? And that's why I'm saying, man, I think that, individuals got to police themselves, all right? I mean, and if you're a part of a group and if you know and are affiliated with somebody that is partaking in real-life harassing activity, harassing people's jobs, harassing people's real lives, well, then don't bitch and moan when your affiliation with this individual gets you into some major serious trouble. And I'm going to leave it at that, and that's all there is to it, all right? I know who all you idiots are, so, I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't really want to talk about that anymore. But once again, this is the internet, folks, all right? All you folks that want attention on the internet, be prepared, because this is the way it is, for Christ's sake. Anyway, speaking of which, let's bring Teutonic Plague on. What's going on, Teutonic Plague? How you doing, man?
I'm not doing too badly, Ghost. What's going on with you?
Not too bad, man. I wanted to see what you wanted to talk about today, man. What do you feel like talking about?
Oh, man, I want to discuss immigration and how we can drastically reduce the number of illegal aliens that come into this country.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, we have laws in the books that are just not being enforced. I mean, if these leftists that are in power would allow these IMS and the people at the border to do their jobs, I mean, I think that we would see less and less people coming in. Now, remember, the whole reason why liberals and leftists are allowing these immigrants to come in, and not to mention they're giving them benefits, man. They're getting free health care, they're getting free housing, they're getting free education. I mean, this is an absolute fact. But the reason they're bringing them in, Teutonic Plague, is because they want their votes. You understand? I mean, that's a whole new crop of votes for the Democrats, and those are lifelong votes for the Democrats. So I believe that if we just enforce the law, and I know that, Donald Trump wants to build a wall. I mean, I'm not too terribly excited about that wall because that's a double-edged sword. I mean, that could be used by some totalitarian government to keep our asses in this country. But at the same time, something needs to be done. I got a lot of Mexicans walking around out here in Texas, all right? So I'm kind of mixed on the issue of immigration. I've actually witnessed illegal immigrants work their asses off. I mean, 12, 15, 20 times hard working than your average American worker, and these people are working below minimum wage. So, I mean, it's a really touchy issue. It's a really, I really don't know what to say about it. I do understand it's a problem. It's not the hard-working Mexicans that we're pretty much after. It's basically the criminals and the terrorists that we want out of our country.
Yeah, I agree with you, but here's what I do. First and foremost, I cut the benefits to the illegal aliens and these anchor baby pieces of crap. And then what I do is, for the folks that want to be Americans, if you get right down to it, the reason these illegal Mexicans and folks from Canada are entering the country is because deep down they want to be Americans. But the naturalization process is so fucking long and convoluted that they don't want to bother with that crap. So what do? They enter the country illegally. And if for certain countries we streamline this process somehow, then that would drastically reduce the number of illegal immigrants. But as for the Arabic countries where ISIS kind of holds sway, we might want to keep the measures we currently have in place, as we don't want any wild Yehudi Allahu Akbar Mecca bastards coming in and strapping bombs to their chests and blowing themselves up in elementary schools.
They're already coming in, Teutonic, man. They're already coming in. Obama is bringing them in secretly. From the reports I'm gathering, they're kicking out Mexican and black families out of their Section 8 homes, and they're moving in these wild Yehudis. I mean, you should come down here to Austin, man. I mean, there's wild Yehudis. I mean, there's like Mumbukus from Africa. I mean, it looks like a freaking it looks like a freaking immigration island out here in Austin, Texas. And let me tell you, I am considering moving the hell out of here. I used to love this city. I mean, it was a great party town. I mean, very safe. I mean, before Obama came into office, Teutonic, I mean, you could go and walk the streets of Austin, Texas after 2, 3, 4 in the morning and not worry about getting your ass murdered, jacked, robbed, beaten. That's not the case anymore. I mean, it is a dangerous jungle out here, and that doesn't have to just do exclusively with the illegal immigration situation in Austin, but it also has to do with all the goddamn carpetbaggers that came in from all over the country in the crash of 2009. You had a lot of carpetbaggers come in from California and New York and all these damn liberals that just completely turned Austin into a complete garbage hole. So, I mean, I agree with you. We need to cut the funding to these illegal immigrants. Moreover, I like what Trump was suggesting, that we stop them from wiring American money to Mexico, because that's really why they come over here. They come over here, they make all kinds of money, they wire it back. Money. Absolutely, and they wire it back to Mexico, and that particular money is no longer in circulation in our country. And we wonder why people don't have any money to spend out here, why the economy is so stagnant. I mean, when you have situations like the illegal immigration issue where they're wiring money out of the country, when you have situations like multinational corporations that are going into communities and that are setting up shop, killing the mom-and-pop shops, killing the small businesses, I mean, this is why you have such a stagnant economy, man. I mean, there's a lot of issues going on. Anyway, you have anything else to say there, Teutonic?
Yeah, I do have something else I'd like to say, and that is, what do you think of streamlining the process for Mexico and Canada? You're keeping the restrictions, for, like, maybe if we up the restrictions, we have to do something about these wild fucking Yehudis, man. I'm serious. I mean, and moreover, why aren't the moderate, okay, so a lot of folks are saying, oh, there are moderate Muslims out there, and I tend to agree. I think there are, because I knew someone who happened to be a Muslim back in middle school, and wherever you are, shout out to you. And what I want to say is, why aren't the moderate Muslims doing anything about this? I mean, Jesus, man.
Well, I mean, I agree. I mean, I've been very critical about this situation myself. I mean, I have been critical about Islam, that in my personal opinion, I don't believe Islam understands peace. All right? It only understands force. It only understands leadership. It only understands power. And the proof is when Saddam Hussein was in power. The proof is when Muammar Gaddafi was in power. These were secular leaders that killed jihadi terrorists. And when these guys were in power, you didn't see these wild Yehudis going out and saying Allah snack bar and blowing themselves up and migrating to Europe and migrating to America and trying to act like a sleeper cell and doing all this ridiculous nonsense, all right? And let me tell you, this is a byproduct of the foreign policy of Obama. This is a direct byproduct of the foreign policy of Hillary Rotten Clinton, for Christ's sake. And that's all there is to it. All right? I mean, that's all there is to it. So as far as I'm concerned, folks, we've got to do something as it relates to Islam, and we need to have a new perspective on what Islam is, all right? I'm not saying they're all bad people. I'm not trying to say they're all, evil. But let's be honest, all right? There's over, 1 billion Muslims in the world? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that like 10 or 15% of them are wild, radicalized Yehudis, all right? I mean, that's a lot of people that, the United States and the international community have to deal with, man. And moreover, even if it is just 10, 15%, Where's the other 85%? Where's the other 90% to help suppress this situation? You know, I've actually had debates with Muslims on Twitter about this, and their response is, well, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. It's not my job to stop the jihadi. I mean, that's literally their defense, that it's not their job, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, if it's not your job, then don't piss and moan when your religion or your sect of people get pigeonholed into some kind of goddamn stereotype, all right? Because I've said this time and time again, all right? A group is defined by its majority, boy. You understand that? A group is defined by majority, all right? Woo! And look, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't want to admit that. There's a lot of people that don't want to sit here and talk about that. But let's be honest, man. I mean, Islam does not respect love. Islam does not respect peace, all right? I mean, they don't, all right? I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, look at Europe right now, all right? Europe is allowing all these wild Yehudis from all over the jihadi areas of the Middle East, all right? I'm talking Belgium, I'm talking France, I'm talking the Netherlands, I'm talking Germany, okay? They're allowing all these wild Yehudis into their country and with open arms, man. I mean, they're showing them nothing but love. They let them in their country with love. And look at how the wild Yehudis that they let in their country are reacting. I mean, look at how they're treating the Europeans' hospitality. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this is why I'm saying, in my personal view, Islam does not respect love, and there is no love in Islam. As a matter of fact, I saw an interview of an ex-jihadist turned Christian, and I may tweet that after this show, for Christ's sake, but he goes into detail how there is no love in Islam. I mean, his mother, his father, they showed him no love. They just talked about the Prophet Muhammad and how you should give your life to the Prophet and so on and so forth. Very radicalized type of ideas that are incepted in the minds of these poor young Muslims at a very early age, all right? And that's all there is to it, man. I mean, look, I'm not trying to be bigoted or racist or anything of that nature, but let's be honest, for Christ's sake, man. Let's be freaking honest, all right? I mean, these wild Yehudis over here in the Middle East do not respect peace. They do not respect love. They only respect force. They only respect power. And that's why I believe that Donald Trump should be elected president, because I believe that he's going to kick the shit out of ISIS, all right? I'm not kidding around. I think that he's going to kick the living bejesus out of ISIS and all these other wild Yehudis. And let me tell you, I know a lot of people in the military, and they are waiting. I mean, they want to stop this politically correct war that this leftist regime that's in power has basically told them to fight. They want to just go in there and clean house, because that's the only way that the Islamic religion is going to respect anything. That's the only way they're going to respect anything, for Christ's sake, man. Why do you think the Yehudis that were trying to rise up against Bashar al-Assad left Syria and reestablished themselves in parts of Iraq and in Libya, huh? All right, because Bashar al-Assad and his secularist Ba'athist party went in there and beat the living garbage out of him, all right? I mean, terrified him, butchered him, for Christ's sake. All right, I mean, why do you think Bashar al-Assad is still in power after all this time, man? I'm serious, all right? I mean, this is the only thing wild Yehudi jihadists respect. It's just pure force, and I wish it wasn't the case. I wish that these Yehudis and these Islamists were a little bit more on the civilized side. I wish that they would understand that Europe bringing them into their countries is not a sign of weakness, but that's exactly how they interpret it. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. I'm serious. Anyway, thanks, Teutonic Plague, for calling in, man. I really appreciate it. We'll get back to you come Radio Graffiti time. Once again, this is another free format edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Give me a call, 516-453-9903 is the number to call here. Let us know what you want to talk about. It's all you, baby. This is a free format edition. I'm really enjoying these types of shows, folks. I really am. Let's go back to the. Do we have any more callers, engineer? All right, we got a couple more callers here, so let's go to the phones. 619, what's going on? What do you want to talk about?
Hi, I'm a helpful Southern California Honda person, and recently we've been doing random acts of helpfulness, like buying gifts for families and bringing a daughter in the Navy home for the holidays. And during the Happy Honda Day sales event, we can help you too, with a great deal on an award-winning Honda, like the Accord, a 2017 Car and Driver 10 Best a record 31 times. Click the dealer locator link to find a dealer near you, and go to SoCalHondaDealers.com to suggest a random act of helpfulness for someone you know. Car and Driver, January 2017.
Hey, 619, you there?
Oh, sorry, it's me.
No, go ahead. Hey, what do you want to talk about, man? What, you have anything on your mind?
Oh, to be honest, I think I pressed it on accident. To be honest.
Oh, all right. Well, no problem. We'll come back to you. All right. Let's go to some more people. 574. You got anything to talk about? Oh, Jesus Christ! Come on, man. Why are you calling, for Christ's sake, if you're not going to say nothing, man? Come on. How about 520? You got anything to say, man?
Yes, I do, in fact. I'm not going to shoulder this call because it's a serious call. But, in fact, you were talking about the illegal immigrants coming into the United States. The fact is, the Border Patrol are catching the illegal immigrants. But it's the legal process in which they take to the immigration judge that lets them come into the country anyways. Because Obama made these completely backwards conditions as to where the illegals are sent to wherever address they put in the United States, like, that are going to have their family members or someone else on the other side of the United States. So they get sent there while they wait a year for the immigration judge to see them, as you know. And of course, they're not going to come after a year. They're just going to stay in the United States illegally. And the Border Patrol and law enforcement doesn't exactly hunt them down to come to the immigration judge. You know what I mean? And it's because of these backwards-ass Obama laws pertaining to the immigration cases that he's encouraging them to lie about the American government and to come in illegally while the Border Patrol is doing everything they can. And Obama is doing everything he can to cut Border Patrol spending, as is Hillary. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, that's a very good analysis, because you're absolutely right. When they capture these illegal immigrants, they're supposed to go in front of some immigration hearing, and typically those immigration hearings are 6 months, a year time later, and they never show up. And they stay in the country. They have anchor babies. They still get entitlements. I mean, it's really, really disgusting, man. I mean, that illegal immigrants in America are getting taken care of far more better than our veterans. And I think that's a shame, man. I mean, I think that's a legitimate shame. I mean, look, I think that we need to take care of our veterans. I'm sorry, all right? I mean, if we are going to, if our government is going to send our boys out to the battlefield to supposedly fight for freedom, I think that we need to take care of these boys, man. I'm sick and tired of illegal immigrants getting better medical care than our military, for Christ's sake, man. Better benefits than our military. You've got folks that are in the military or that were in the military that are trying to get their benefits that can't get them. All right? Yeah. I mean, this is what this whole VA scandal is about, man. They are not being able to get their benefits. They're giving these veterans the runaround. And that's, if you want my personal opinion, that's why we're having such an increase in suicide rates as it relates to veterans. All right, I'm serious. I think that's a horrific tragedy that is not being said in the mainstream media. And if you don't believe me, take a look at how many veterans have committed suicide. I mean, seriously, it's rather disturbing trend, and nobody wants to talk about it. Of course, because our mainstream media only talks about whatever it wants to talk about, whatever it wants to incept in your brain, whatever it wants to suggest to you to think about. I mean, that's the whole game of our mainstream media. These people are talking heads, all right? They are telling you what to say. They are telling you what to regurgitate. That's why you can pretty much tell by how somebody talks and the kind of rhetoric that they spew out of their shit funnel where they're gathering their news. You can automatically say, oh, yeah, this person's listening to MSNBC. Or they spout, oh, yeah, you read Salon and Huffington Post. You know, they spew off, oh, yeah, you listen to Fox News, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, look, folks, all right, you have got every news organization at your fingertips right here on these internets. Do you understand that? I mean, any question that you have in your head, all right, anything that you don't know, you can have answered right here on this internet, man. But instead, you know what people are doing? And I said this yesterday, they're going on social media. You know what I mean? They're going out and trying to look for, you know, sexual encounters. All right? I mean, they're trying to gather around their little internet friends, for Christ's sake. And believe me, look, I think that individuals who, you know, stay on conferences and that are in chat rooms for 10 hours a day, I mean, I think that's ridiculous, all right? It's a waste of time. It's pathetic. I mean, unless you're in a chat room with a whole bunch of smart individuals and y'all are trying to comprise some sort of program or some game or some business or something. You know what I'm saying? Something to progress all of you losers that are in that chat room. But look, 99.9% of the time, people that are congregating in a chat room are doing absolutely nothing or doing something mischievous, all right? And moreover, another thing that people are starting to do is going on social media and finding old flings, finding old boyfriends and girlfriends. Have you noticed this stupid trend? I mean, give me a freaking break, man. I mean, I just think this is the most sickest, disgusting trend that I have seen. You know, you got married people, once they get their stupid little Facebook account, what do?
Oh, I remember that one guy who fucked me. Let me look him up on Facebook. And, you know, they look him up on Facebook, they friend each other, they have an affair. I mean, this is what's causing goddamn divorces, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, this is what people are using the goddamn internet for Christ's sake. I mean, it's sick. So, you know, once again, man, I'm telling you right now, this is what people are doing on these internets. I wish it was a lot different story. I wish people, you know, were utilizing the internet to enhance their intellectual capacity, to expand their base of knowledge, you know, to become smart, man. But they don't. You know, most people are just utilizing this to tickle their ass cracks and to think that they have a social life. Now, look, if all you do is get on the internet and you never go outside, you don't have any friends, you know, the only people that you have in your real life is whoever's residing in your dwelling, all right, you're a pathetic anally loser. You're an anal loser, all right? You're a loser in life. And I've said this time and time again, if your only contribution to life is getting on the internet, making people's lives miserable, being a goddamn miserable troll, trying to harass people, cyberbullying people, so on and so forth to make your pathetically anal life feel better, well then please do the world a favor and kill yourself. All right? I mean, I'm serious, man. I mean, we need the freeway to start moving a little bit more free-flowing again, all right? I mean, I see no reason why, if you have succumbed to the fact that you are a pathetic loser and that all you're going to do is sit on the internet and commiserate with a bunch of losers that are on the internet that are as big, if not bigger, losers than yourself, well, then please just kill yourself. Do you understand? We have way too many people being born in this world that want to make a contribution to society, and, you know, your loser self is robbing them of opportunity. Your loser self is robbing them of space on the earth. Your loser self is robbing them of food that they could possibly intake. I mean, let's be honest, man. I mean, I'm tired of people that are just existing and not making one bit of contribution to society. I'm sick of it, man. I mean, I don't know about you folks, but I am utterly sick of it. And, you know, I took a lot of heat a couple of shows back when I alluded to the fact that I believe that losers that are not making one bit of contribution to society and that have been on freaking welfare and food stamps since Obama came into office with no shame, they've gotten themselves fat in the ass, they could care less about anybody else, they're not making any contribution whatsoever. The only contribution they're making is turning perfectly good food into shit, all right? These people need to be separated from civil society. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I mean, these people need to be completely separated from society. And look, I strongly pray that all these Walmarts that are being taken over by the Department of Homeland Security have everything to do with hurting these stupid losers who obviously can't take care of themselves, who obviously can't feed themselves, who can't clothe themselves, who can't house themselves because
They don't want to, because there is no reason why they can't. If you're on the internet, you can self-educate yourself, but you choose not to do so. All right? If you're on the internet, you can figure out something to do to make yourself productive, but you failed to do so. If you're on the internet, you can find yourself a menial job to make yourself productive in society, but you fail to do so. And that's why I'm advocating, folks, that every one of these losers that want to insist and continue to live off the government teat, I strongly advise the powers that be, please just separate these people from society. I mean, I want a civil society again, man. I don't want just, complete degenerate losers making life miserable for all of us that are actually producing for this country. All right? Now, look, I don't care what kind of a job you have, folks. I don't care if you're a damn if you're a janitor, I don't care if you're a fluffer, all right? I don't care if you're a hooker, all right? I don't care if you're a stripper. I don't care what you do for a living as long as you're getting paid to do it and not collecting a government entitlement. You are far above the people that are collecting entitlements, all right? It's bottom line, all right? I mean, if you're working for your own money, if you pay for your own food, if you pay for your own possessions, if you pay for your own dwelling, you are far above those that don't. All right? You are far above those that are collecting government entitlements. You are far above those that refuse to make a contribution to society. And I'm telling you, there's going to be a day, and that day is coming very, very soon, where all these losers that are out here trying to talk all kinds of garbage and
look at me, I've got free food stamps and you've got to pay for it, capitalist.
There's going to come a day, folks, when you guys are going to be, picked up and y'all are going to be shipped off to these labor camps where you belong. And look, I'm not advocating that these people, there shouldn't be anything bad happening to these people. They should be tortured or anything of that nature. They just need to be separated from society. Folks, whatchamacallit, y'all remember Katrina? Y'all remember Katrina, right? Well, out here in Texas, we had, some mayors in, I believe it was Houston, San Antonio. They allowed a lot of these Katrina folks that were stuck, in the bad situation out there to relocate to these cities, all right? Now, you know what happened, all right? I'll tell you what happened, all right? And look, I know people that that felt sorry for this situation. I mean, it was very tragic. Those images that came out of New Orleans during Katrina was horrible, right? So a lot of these people had good hearts, so they wanted to, basically dedicate their time, effort, and energy in helping these people, all right? Now, unfortunately, when they were helping these people, they would house them in, old Army bases, old Air Force bases, old factories, so on and so forth, right? And I heard firsthand from folks that actually felt sorry for these people and went in an attempt to help these people. They saw these people day in and day out literally go in and out of this little facility, and basically the facility was nothing but a bunch of cots, side by side with each other and so on and so forth. It was supposed to be temporary housing, right? And what the government did, because they felt sorry for these people that were, out there stranded in Katrina, they cut them checks for like $25,000, folks. I'm not joking, $10,000 to $25,000. All right, I'm not joking. This actually happened. Anybody who tries to deny it is fucking lying. Excuse my French. All right, but they gave these people, $20,000, $10,000, and you know what these people did? They, instead of going out and trying to reestablish their lives in the cities that, basically took them in with open arms, instead of trying to reestablish their lives, you know what they did? They went out and bought a Cadillac. All right, I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be racist here. I mean, this actually happened. I swear to God, it actually happened. All right, they'd go out and buy Cadillacs. All right, and they would go out to the club or go out to do whatever the hell they do. And right before the curfew happened at these places that they were housing these folks, they would go park their Cadillacs across the street, walk across the street back to their little cot until, the curfew was over, and then they would leave and go at it again. I mean, this happened for a good year and a half until the government finally said, look, you guys got to go. You got to fend for yourself already. I mean, give me a freaking break, all right? I mean, you got to fend for yourself. I mean, give me a freaking break. But you see, the point of that story is that if you give people things, they will never get out of the rut that they're in. You understand? And that was the criticism of the 80s, The criticism of the 80s was that, Ronald Reagan didn't care about the poor people. And no, asshole. What the 80s was about was you either produced or you didn't produce, all right? And those that produced benefited generously economically, all right? And those that didn't, they didn't have unlimited food stamps back then. They didn't have unlimited welfare back then. As a matter of fact, it was pretty goddamn hard to get on welfare back then, boy. But they didn't have that kind of garbage. So in the 80s, you actually saw people sleeping in the streets. All right? I mean, you don't see that too much anymore. And if you do, it's because they want to sleep in the streets today. All right? I'm serious. There's a lot of bums out here in Austin. We have a humongous bum problem in Austin. And it's not because this is an impoverished town. All right? It's because they know, the bums, they know where the money's at. All right? And it gets around all over the country, through the grapevine of bums, that, it's very easy to squeeze $1 off of people in Austin, Texas, because the average median income is like $70,000 a person, all right? And when the average person is making about $70,000, I mean, there's a lot of money circulating around Austin, Texas, boy, and that's why the damn town's so rich. That's why you have Whole Foods over here having its headquarters, Dell Computer over here having its headquarters, Frost Bank over here having its headquarters. We got a lot of corporate headquarters over here, and there's a lot of money. All right, and that's why we have a bum problem out here, because they want to be bums, man. They want to be bums. I mean, a lot of these people have mental problems, they have alcohol problems, they got drug abuse problems, all right? But it wasn't like that in the 80s, folks. There were genuinely people starving in the streets. There was genuine poor, genuine homeless, and this is where all this influx of leftism came from that basically culminated in the 90s, 2000s, and today. And that's all there is to it, man. I mean, that's why all these leftists back in the 80s hated Reagan, because they thought Reagan was cold and heartless because, he didn't really, give two rat's asses about those that were starving in the street. And if you want my personal opinion, folks, I don't think that we should care about those that are starving in the street. And when I'm talking about we, I'm talking about the government, I'm talking about tax-paying dollars. All right, I mean, we should have charities worrying about these people, all right? We should have the nonprofit churches worrying about these people, all right? It has no business of government. All right, there's no business of government. I mean, whatever happened to voluntary charity, for Christ's sake? Huh? I mean, why don't you put your money where your mouth is, you freaking leftists? Huh? Of course not. You're not going to do that. Every leftist that touts their charity is utter lies, all right? I mean, a study came out, about a year ago, that people on the right wing of the political spectrum give more to charity than those on the left, all right? I mean, that's an absolute fact. Anyway, folks, let's move on. I want to continue to talk about whatever you want to talk about, folks. Give me a call, 516-453-9903 is the number to call. This is a free-format edition of the True Capitalist Radio Show. What do you want to talk about? I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, folks, all right? I mean, this is serious business. Let's see what everybody has to say out here, all right? I mean, let's not be Helen Keller deaf mutes, okay, when I call on your name. Let's see what you got to say. 501, you're on the horn. What do you got to say, man?
Hey, Ghost. Long-time listener.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Not too bad, man. Thanks for asking, man. What you got in your mind?
Well, I was wanting to know if you thought anything about the auto industry or kept up with some of it. As of right now, roughly 70% of new auto loans go on a 72-month term, and within the first 2 years, about 20% of those will default. And the current problem we're looking at right now is that the bankers are pushing through subprimes in a similar way to what caused the housing crisis to happen. And I was just curious if you heard anything about that or did any reading.
No, absolutely. I absolutely know exactly what you're talking about. I'm glad you actually brought that up, for folks that don't know, and if you have a new car, you're probably one of these people that are doing this. New cars and even used cars nowadays are now being financed for 72 months, all right? I mean, I never heard of such a thing. I remember, 5-year notes and, in some instances 4-year notes and that sort of thing. No, 72 months, all right? You're going to be paying on this car. And this young gentleman is absolutely correct. Within 2 years, they default. And to be honest with you, that's a very good con game for the bankers, all right? Because, look, I mean, the bankers, if they, fund or finance a 72-month loan for a new car, and after 2 years they default, I mean, they've got a 2-year collateral car that they can resell on the market when they've already collected 2 years' worth of interest, all right? I mean, I'm serious. This is the game. This is the scam. Now, as far as the subprimes are concerned, I do know that the private banksters are giving out a lot more subprime mortgage loans, but I'm a little less concerned about the subprimes than I am about all the FHA loans that are being taken forth out here in America today. All right, I'm serious. I mean, for you folks that aren't understanding about this housing bubble that we are now currently in, it's not the banks that are doing this at this point in time. It is the Mexican golden boy that's supposed to be the vice presidential candidate for Hillary Rotten Clinton, and I'm talking about Julian Castro over here. This guy who is the head of HUD right now is making a complete mess of the housing industry because he's just giving away FHA loans like it's going out of style. And for you folks that are unaware of what FHA loans are, these are government-backed loans that are financing homes today, all right? Now, what's the difference between a bank loan and an FHA loan? Well, if you go to a bank and try to get a home loan with them, you have to put at least 20 to 25% down so they can even talk to you about entertaining a damn home loan. Do you understand what I'm saying? Secondly, all right, if you go to an FHA government-backed loan, on the other hand, you just have to do 2%, 3% down, and you've got yourself a damn home, courtesy of the American government. And I have alluded to this before. When the next recession happens, and let me tell you, I think it could happen at any time, man. I mean, I cannot pinpoint the exact time because if you want my personal opinion, I believe that the government and the Wall Street, the banks, and all these people are colluding to basically have this bubble burst at a given time of their choosing. All right, this is all deliberate. That's why I'm not in the markets any longer. I don't own any properties at this point in time, all right? I mean, I do have this one place here, downtown Austin, Texas, and that is it. I have sold off all my land. I've sold off every single piece of property that I own because I'm telling you, this bubble is going to burst, all right? It is going to burst, and when it happens, you're going to have a lot of defaults on home loans, okay? And it's going to be FHA loans, which the government is going to be holding that house as collateral. And what's the government going to do with that home, folks? Once the government owns the home, because the people that took out the FHA loan default, what is going to happen with that home? Whatever the government wants to do with it. You understand what I'm saying? So we're setting ourselves up for full-fledged communism, socialism. You understand what I'm saying, folks? This is what these bureaucrats are setting us up for. They are incrementally bringing themselves more and more into our lives by setting us up, by colluding with Wall Street, by colluding with the banks, by colluding with the creditors. I mean, this is all a big con job. And that's why Donald Trump is insistent upon becoming president, because he sees the writing on the wall. He knows that what's going on is complete ridiculous bogusness. All right? And I think that, he's absolutely right. I think we need a president like Donald Trump to rectify the situation. This man knows business. This man knows what he's talking about. And I think that just based on the business principle, just based on economics, that this man should be elected, for Christ's sake. And by the way, did you hear Ted Cruz in an interview today completely trying to bypass the question that Sean Hannity was trying to ask him? That what the hell are you doing going in and trying to grab delegates and, can you explain this? And Ted Cruz didn't want to do it. He did not want to do it. And moreover, there's a clip on my Twitter account. Politics Ghost is my Twitter account for all those folks that aren't following me. There is a tweet on there that shows that Ted Cruz, about 3 or 4 months ago, said that a brokered convention is absolutely a bad idea and we should not have it. Now, how did he change his tune from one day to the next? Because he's a lying piece of sniveling trash. That's why. So anyway, folks, I want to continue going. Thank you for that question. This is a free format edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. 516-453-9903 is the number to call. I want to hear from you, folks. What do you want to talk about? How about 856? You're on the horn. What's going on, man?
Hi, Ghost. How are you?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Listen, I have been on hold for about 90 minutes. I've called about 3 days, and it's always been 90 minutes. So I'm sorry if I'm bitching a little bit.
No, don't worry about it, man. I got like over 100 people on the switchboard, but sorry. Go right ahead, sir.
I assume that you got my message about Cruz on Twitter?
Yes, I believe you said you have some 411 on the Cruz scandal, the Ted Cruz scandal. Am I correct?
Yes, and DC Ma'am, and the new information on Rafael Cruz, Ted's father.
All right, well, let's hear it, man. I'm anxious to hear it. What do you got to say?
All right. Just a quick question. Do you want the entire package, or do you just want me to condense it? Because this is very big.
Go right ahead. By all means, man. We want to hear it because I'm telling you, everybody who's listening in hates Ted Cruz. He's totalitarian trash, and any other 411 that you can give out on this Zodiac killer-looking piece of garbage is great. So go right ahead, sir.
Okay. So first and foremost, the Cruz sex scandal. I have found at least possibly 7 or 8 more mistresses in this investigation, and I have a list here of the possible names. Would you like me to read them all?
Go right ahead. Absolutely. I mean, this is a breaking story. But you want to say your Twitter name so that you can take credit for this?
Yes, please. I would love to say it. My Twitter name is Trumping Capitalist. It is also known as the God of Rage, capital T, capital R. If you want to follow me, please just go right ahead. I don't care. Just spread the news, spread whatever you can do. Just send this to the media. Okay, so
all right, go right ahead. We're anxious. Everybody wants to hear it, man. Go right ahead.
I can see that. First and foremost, I have a Tamara Tammy Costa, who's actually a nanny for Cruz's daughters. She donated at least $7,000 to her campaign, to his campaign, around 2012, 2015, somewhere around there. Next, I have a Stephanie Coleman, whose husband was tragically killed, was actually the head of the Attorney General's office in Austin between 2001 and 2007. Now, may I remind you that Cruz was the Solicitor General of Texas for 2003, 2008. And now I have a Christina Cox, who is actually a Presbyterian teacher at a Houston school. She was actually at the National Cathedral School back in about 2000, like mid-2000s, late 2000s. Next, I have a Caroline H. Patterson, whose husband is a very powerful lawyer for businesses in Texas, especially oil. Linda Floyd, her husband's also in the oil industry, but he's actually an engineer. I'm sorry if I'm stirring. I'm a little nervous.
No, go right ahead, man. Just take your time, man. This is really serious stuff. This is very breaking news. Go right ahead, man.
All right, next I have a Holly Coburn, and here's a big thing about it. I wrote something about her business on Twitter, Surge Ventures, and right after I said that she might be involved, the business just shut down completely, down the week after that.
Wow, that's very interesting.
I know, that's very interesting. And now I have a Julie Ney, who is actually in the Colorado GOP scandal, and I think I have an article about that on Twitter, and if you can't find it, I'll repost it. Basically what it was is that there was a sex scandal between Julie Ney and Stephen House, and she was actually accused of blackmailing him, saying, if you do this, I'm going to besmirch you.
Wow, man, these are pretty, interesting investigative work that you have done here. And let me tell you, I'm sure there's a lot of smoke with that fire over there. Now, in your investigations, do you gather this guy is exclusively going after married women for some reason? I mean, is he? From your investigation, are these women attracted to him? Are they attracted to his power, or is he manipulating them? I mean, what do you gather from your point of view, from your perspective, from your opinion?
Well, interesting enough, this is all basically ladies that are very close to him or have husbands in the oil industry or the business industry or lawyers. So I think being Ted Cruz, being a lawyer, having a good amount of power, there's some connection here. There's a big connection here.
And, the interesting one that you said at the beginning, his nanny, donating $7,000 to his campaign. I mean, if that isn't some kind of money laundering type of nefarious garbage, right?
Yeah, there's something wrong with that. I don't even want to think about that. Now, I would just like to move on to DC Madam, if I can. Because
go right ahead, man. This is very interesting.
Yes, I have a list here from Montgomery Sibley, the lawyer who's trying to get the Verizon records and all the other records released. There's about 174 businesses on here, and I've found that at least 70 of them on this list have donated to the Bush campaign. Why is the Bush campaign so significant? Because Cruz was the brains in the 2000 and 2004 campaigns. That's right. He was the domestic policy advisor in 2000, and he still had very close ties to them in 2004 after he left. Now, some of these companies are very big, some of them are very small. Some big names are Amtrak, Verizon, Lockheed Martin, Internal Revenue Service, FBI, Department of Health and Human Services. Who else do we got here? PricewaterhouseCoopers, U.S. Department of Commerce, Department of State, the Postal Service. This is a big list, and there's a lot of interesting corporations, and this is pretty big. And there's
wow, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of government agencies on here: U.S. Postal Service, Department of Commerce, Department of State. This is a big list. This is very big.
Wow, you're on to something, man. I mean, once again, let everybody know your Twitter address so that people can, get abreast of this particular information, because it needs to be spread around like wildfire, because this Ted Cruz is acting completely totalitarian as it relates to this delegate stealing issue, and he must be stopped. And the way you stop him is by unearthing his hypocrisy. So once again, can you give us your Twitter address, man?
Sure. It's The God of Rage, TheGodofrage, capital T and capital R.
Well, man, I definitely will be looking out for your Twitter address, and by all means, if you find any more information, please forward it at me, and we'd love to have.
I actually do
have
a little bit more information. I actually have a little bit more information. I actually have a theory. I'm sorry if I'm taking so long, but this is
no. Go right ahead, man. You're providing substance. You're providing substance. Go ahead.
Now, I actually emailed this to Montgomery Sibley, and he said he cannot confirm it nor deny it at this time. And there was at least one person in the U.S. Attorney General's office during the time of the D.C. Madam calls, and who was in the Associate Deputy Attorney General? Ted Cruz, 2001. So basically, the theory goes like this. I believe that not only Ted Cruz was only a client on that list, but he was also a solicitor of donations from multiple companies to that list, basically providing the number and the information to the D.C. Madam's escort service in exchange for political donation. So, and I can prove this because there are a lot of companies, big-name companies, that have donated a lot of money to the Bush campaign, and some of these numbers actually pop up in the D.C. Madam list, and I've looked through basically most of them. I actually have them on my computer, my flash drive. I really shouldn't say that because I think somebody's listening to this. I have the tinfoil hat on, but this is I'm really shocked at this. I think that Cruz solicited donations for D.C. Madam for the escort service.
Oh, my God, man. I mean, you're making a lot of connections here. You're definitely connecting the dots. Do you have like a blog or something? I mean, maybe you should start a blog or some kind of written word-based website so that you can basically break down this information. Or if you know how to do a YouTube video, I would strongly advise you doing it, man. You could be breaking a major story here.
I don't have a blog, but I'm going to try and do one as soon as possible. But
if you do it, if you be sure to tweet it at me, and I'll be sure to retweet it, man. I mean, get a blog spot, or get something that can't directly be implicated towards you. Try to be as anonymous and as VPN as you possibly can. But, I mean, I think that you could be breaking a really big story right here, and if you are successful in connecting the dots and basically getting that story across on the internet, I think that you've got a serious situation here.
Oh, definitely. And I have actually one more piece of information before I go, and this is between Cruz's father and Lee Harvey Oswald. This just came out. It's in the National Enquirer, which actually first broke the story and which you broke. Do you mind if I explain that? And my battery's running a little low, so I'm going to make this
No,
quick.
go right ahead. As a matter of fact, I did tweet a photo of what looks like Rafael Cruz, which is Ted Cruz's father, passing out Fair Play for Cuba Committee pamphlets in front of the New Orleans trademark. In front of the New Orleans trademark. Now, the New Orleans trademark was owned by Clay Shaw, and Clay Shaw was the man that was implicated by Jim Garrison. Of course, that was the JFK movie. He was implicated by Jim Garrison as being one of the organizers and the financiers of the alleged JFK assassination. So go ahead. Any more information on that? We'd appreciate it. What do you have to say, man?
Well, I've done a little bit of research on that, and basically after the JFK assassination, Rafael Cruz went to to Canada, and worked for Zappa the Corporation, I think it's called. And who runs that corporation? George Herbert Walker Bush. That's right, the George Herbert Walker Bush. And I think that's where the connection all started, because I think that, tracing the dots back to this big event or this big point in time, that's significant. This shows exactly where the Bush-Cruz connection started. I think that, there was some sort of, bribes, this, that, whatever you want to call it. I think something significant happened here that led George Herbert Walker Bush to believe, hey, maybe this guy can help me. But you never know. I still have to do a lot of research on it, and that's basically about it.
No, I appreciate it, man, and thank you for calling. Very, very interesting information. I also do want to add that George Bush was photographed, or a man that looks like George H.W. Bush was photographed right outside the book building that Lee Harvey Oswald supposedly shot John F. Kennedy at. That particular picture is on Google. You could probably find it. I think you could put George H.W. Bush, JFK, and look, somebody that looks very similar, wears the same type of suit, the same type of clothes at the time, the same type of tie, the same type everything, looks just like George H.W. Bush was there in Dallas right after the damn JFK assassination happened, all right? I mean, seriously. All right, I mean, and let's not forget that George H.W. was the head of the CIA, and when they made him head of the CIA, he claimed that he was never involved with the agency, which you and I know that's a bunch of crap, all right? And moreover, before I move on to here to the end of the broadcast, I do want to say that people should look up also George H.W. Bush laughing about the JFK assassination during the eulogy he was giving to Gerald Ford's funeral, all right? I mean, I'm serious, man. I'm serious. So, once again, I would strongly advise people to look those two things up, George H.W. Bush in Dallas right after the JFK assassination, just standing around. And moreover, look up the YouTube video where George H.W. is laughing about the JFK assassination while giving a eulogy at Gerald Ford's funeral. All right? Anyway, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Do we have any Twitter shout-outs, engineer? Well, I'm going to do something a little bit different today, folks. What I'd like to do is I'd like for everybody to please tweet at Ted Cruz. All right, everybody tweet at Ted Cruz and tell him to drop out. All right? Tell him to drop out. Tell him vulgar things. I mean, just blow up Ted Cruz's little internet Twitter feed, all right? And if you blow up Ted Cruz's little internet Twitter feed, I will give you a shout-out right here, right now, live on the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And if you don't know Ted Cruz's address, it's Ted Cruz, all right? That's all it is, all one word, no underscores, all right? So if you want a Twitter shout-out right here, right now, live on the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, tweet at Ted Cruz and tell this son of a bitch that he's totalitarian. Tell him to drop out. Tell him that he's not American. Tell him he's a Canadian. I mean, tell him anything and everything because this guy is complete totalitarian trash, all right? Complete totalitarian trash. Anyway, I want to say what's going on to Gucci Lord. No hands for ghosts. Yeah, real funny asshole, all right? Bureaucratic throne. Yeah, real funny, all right? I'm not a damn bureaucrat, ass crown. Jesus Christ, all right? Sans the skeleton in the house. Ghostery Clinton, for Christ's sake. Ghostery Clinton. You scumbag. What a scumbag. We got Based Lowler in the house, all right? We've got Hans Guvis Smits. Who else do we got going on? We got Michael Samuels, Anal Templeton. Yeah, real funny asshole, all right? Who else do we got going on here? Guns for Columbine? I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Austin feels the burn. Now, screw your ass, all right? Let me tell you something. I know that Austin is a goddamn liberal hellhole, all right? I know, but don't rub it in my goddamn face. Anyway, we got Adult Swim in Texas. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, you son of a bitch, man. You know, it's still raining out here, for Christ's sake, all right? I mean, we're getting so much rain, it's pathetic. Screw you, Harp. Screw you, Harp. God damn it, you son of a bitch. Anyway, we've got Zach Baird, 52, in the house. Stingboy, 257. No power for Ghost. No, I've got power, boy. You understand what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I got backup power just in case. And for you folks that are unaware of how to, create backup power with, old car batteries and stuff, I strongly advise you to do a YouTube search on that, man. You could literally power your house during a power down with old car batteries and basically hooking those car batteries up to an alternator and hooking the alternator up to like a freaking exercise bike or something that's always moving and continuously giving energy to those batteries and so on and so forth. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. Anyway, we've got LeMay anyway. Who else we got? We got Rick. I'm not going to say that name, for Christ's sake. We got the Gucci Lord. Who else do we got going on? Once again, if you want a Twitter shout-out right here, right now, live on the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, please tweet at Ted Cruz and tell him to drop the hell out. Drop out now, boy. We've got Metal Capitalist in the house. We got Brony drumming. Ghost is rolling. Yeah, real funny, asshole, all right? I'm not in a freaking wheelchair. Jesus Christ, man. Ghost Gaga? Oh, Jesus Christ. Ghost Gaga? Jesus Christ, you all know I don't like Lady Gaga, man. I mean, come on, man. I mean, what an over-bloviated piece of untalented hermaphrodite trash, all right? Anyway, we got Rainbow Flank in the house. We got Barney Hunter, 12 in the house. All right, who else do we got going on over here? Once again, if you want a Twitter shout-out, tweet at Ted Cruz. All right, I'm not saying that sick-ass name. We got Green Leader, 1978. Who else do we got going on over here? Once again, all right, how's it wheeling, Ghost? How's it wheeling? You freaking son of a... You son of a bitch! I'm not in a wheelchair! I'm not in a goddamn wheelchair, you stupid dumbasses, man! I'm telling you, you fucking people are pissing me off! You're pissing me off with all this crippled wheelchair talk! God damn it! God damn it! Oh my God! I am not a cripple. I'm not a cripple. Jesus Christ! Give me the mic! Give me the mic! Give me that freaking mic, for Christ's sake! All right. Like I said, it's time to drop out, Ted Cruz, all right, boy? And stop calling me a cripple. All you damn cyber vermin, troll terrorist pieces of loser crap, don't call me a cripple again, all right? Like I said, I'm warning you pieces of crap, all right? I've got 2 words for you. Punitive damages. All right, here we go again. I'm going to do a couple of more Twitter shout-outs, and that's it, all right? All right, we got Uncle Stryker in the house. What's going on, baby? Who else do we got? We got, I'm not saying that sick, twisted name. We got the Green Bio, all right, calling Ted Cruz a Canadian bacon fruit bowl who's humping dead mooses, all right? And let me tell you something. Ted Cruz is Canadian, all right? He should not even be running for president, all right? He's a goddamn Canadian. Both Rafael Cruz and his mother both voted in the Canadian elections. Moreover, have you all seen the birth certificate, or at least the photo of the birth certificate of this piece of trash, this Zodiac killer lookalike piece of crap? He's Canadian. He's from Canada. He needs to go back to the country where he belongs, for Christ's sake. Get the hell out of Texas, Cruz. You're not no Texan. You're a goddamn Canadian bacon piece of carpetbagging trash. You son of a bitch. You know, my ancestry in Texas goes back to the Alamo, baby. Do you understand that? I'm serious. My ancestors' names are on the goddamn plaque at the Alamo, baby. You understand that? We helped organize this state, boy. You understand that? So for this idiot to carpetbag out here with a maple leaf up his ass really pisses me off. Jesus Christ. We got hankies for TCR. Yeah, real funny, all right? All right, Aquatic Alamo. Yeah, Jesus Christ, I was just talking about the Alamo. Jesus. We've got somebody named Hambone. Yeah, real funny. We got Ghost Pock. Jesus Christ. You guys are really starting to piss me off, all right? You guys are really starting to piss me the hell off. You're lucky we're not in a damn bar room, boy. You understand that? Because it ain't nothing for me to whoop a man's ass. I'll tell you that right goddamn now, you stupid sorry sacks of crap. All right? Talking all that garbage on the internet. We're in a damn bar room, boy. I would beat the living bejesus out of you. You understand that, boy? I'd kick and I'd stomp a mud hole in your ass, take it, freaking dirty yellow bubbly piss in it, and kick it dry, boy. Anyway, that's it. I don't want to. No more Twitter shouting. Get the freaking Twitter off my screen, engineer. All right, folks, I think it's about time for everybody's favorite part of the broadcast, and I'm talking about Radio Graffiti! That's right, folks. Radio Graffiti, the part of the broadcast where the spectators become a part of the spectacle. All you have to do is give me a call right now at 516-453-9903 is the number to call, and when I call on your area code or on your Skype name, please, all right, please, whatever you do, say something, all right? All right, you have 3 to 4 seconds to say whatever it is that's on your mind, but say something, for Christ's sake, man. Don't just sit there and play with your goddamn Peter Popper, all right? Don't just sit there and look at yourselves in the mirror, tucking your damn tail between your legs so you can see how you'd look as a woman. Say something, you fruit bowl. I'm not joking, man. Say something. And before I take some calls, all right, please follow me on Twitter, folks. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost. And, of course, folks, bookmark the website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. It is blogtalkradio.com/ghost, baby. All right, let's go ahead and go to the phones, baby. All right, we're going to go ahead and start Radio Graffiti right now. All right, 818 Radio Graffiti.
Radio Graffiti. Yeah, can you put me back on hold? I haven't had my coffee yet.
You haven't had your coffee yet? Well, then take it. Get a coffee enema for yourself there, you bimbo. 727 Radio Graffiti.
Hey, Ghost, this is your guys say drink bleach. Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, okay, great. Real funny. 612 Radio Graffiti.
Hey, Ghost. I just really wanted to first off say thank you for all you do. I've learned so much from your show. Like, it's crazy that silence is consent, Ghost. I did not know that before. And, like, that just brings me to, it must be super convenient for you when you violate Templeton. Humans against...
Oh, yeah, real funny, idiot. But, yeah, silence is consent. I mean, that was in a Supreme Court justice writing, for Christ's sake. And where they said that, when did the Supreme Court say silence is consent? Against the IRS. That's right, folks. I mean, it was in a goddamn Supreme Court ruling that silence is consent to the IRS. I mean, do you understand that? That there is no law that you have to pay the IRS, but you got to pay them, because if you don't, they'll just take everything from you and throw you in jail. And let me tell you something, because this political class, this political establishment is trying to rob us of our right to vote, why in the blue hell are we forced to pay taxes? If we cannot vote, then why are we paying taxes? That's all I got to say about that, all right, boy? 269 Radio Graffiti.
Lows down 6th Street in the new inflatable hover-round from Houston Regional Hover-Round. That's right, folks.
Shut up. I'm not a freaking cripple, for Christ's sake, boy. Jesus Christ. Berncastle Witch Radio Graffiti. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ, these freaking remixes, man. Jesus Christ. Who else we got? 831 Radio Graffiti.
Hello, Ghost Sergeant Jane Dill calling to tell you that you being in a wheelchair is very inspirational to me and my teammates. God bless your beer.
Jesus Christ with this. Enough! Enough with this wheelchair fetish, all right? All you people must have a wheelchair fetish. Enough! Enough, for Christ's sake, man. 507 Radio Graffiti. Jesus Christ, you got a bunch of hard legs talking to each other. Notice I don't hear any women in the background. 907 Radio Graffiti.
Brenda Gosler says he is the master race. Big Heil, right in.
Oh, shut up, all right? Shut up. Don't call me Ghostler. That pisses me off, too, man. Seriously, don't call me Ghostler, asshole, all right? 661 Radio Goddamn Graffiti.
Hey, Ghost, I just wanted to give a shout-out to a True Black Artist who died today. It's unfortunate, like you said about all these codified people. R.I.P. Will Smith.
R.I.P. Will Smith. When the hell did that become a meme, man? All right? And not to mention, I don't even think Will Smith gives two rats' asses about black folks, if you want my personal opinion, all right? All right, I'm sorry. I mean, if he did, his woman Jada Pinkett wouldn't have been all butthurt because his subpar acting didn't get nominated for an Academy Award, all right? I honestly believe that Will Smith is a piece of garbage actor. He's the affirmative action of acting, in my personal opinion, all right? Seriously, I mean, he does not know how to act. I'm sorry, all right? I'm sorry. He's the affirmative action of acting, all right? 954 Radio Graffiti.
Hello, this is Rascal Scooter with your order for a ham-bone scooter.
Jesus Christ, with these freaking scooter enough of this crap! Once again, if you want to call Radio Graffiti, 516-453-9903 is the number to call. 205 Radio Graffiti.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. I'm sure you blew the ears out of everybody who's listening in via headphones, for Christ's sake. Dick Breath, Radio Graffiti.
It will be legal in Texas to shoot Donald Trump.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! You bastard! You son of a bitch! Don't you ever talk that way about Donald Trump again! Don't you ever talk that way about Donald Trump again, you bastard! You understand that? Donald Trump is the leader right now that we need in America. Don't you ever talk to him about that. Don't you ever talk like that again, boy. That's not even something to joke around about, assholes. That's not even something to joke around about. You son of a bitch. Jesus Christ, man. Talking garbage like that. Don't you ever talk that way about Donald Trump, boy. Don't you ever talk that way about Donald Trump. Son of a bitch. He's the only anti-establishment candidate out here, and you son of a bitches don't even appreciate it. You sorry sacks of crap. Give me the mic. Give me the freaking mic.
Give me that mic, for Christ's sake, boy. Don't you ever talk that way about Donald Trump, boy. Do you understand that? This man is leading the capitalist revolution, and you pieces of garbage better respect that. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? I mean, Donald Trump is a capitalist, and he deserves the respect accorded that title. Do you understand that? You piece of trash. 716 Radio Graffiti.
Ghost for true bureaucrat. Ghost for true bureaucrat.
Ghost.
Ghost for true bureaucrat.
Yeah, you know what? Jesus Christ. I'm sick of the bureaucracy. I'm sick of the bureaucrat talk. I'm sick of the ghostler. I'm sick of the handicap. I'm sick of the cripple, for Christ's sake, man. Enough. Don't you understand that? Enough. Jesus Christ! Enough of this crap! Jesus Christ, a real black guy, Radio Graffiti.
Upon the peak of one of Peru's most active volcanoes, a team of experts are making some disturbing discoveries.
Go ahead and take 10 steps toward the freaking volcano.
Do it, engineer.
Dr. Werner von Ghost believes something big is coming.
Now, I am guesstimating that within the next 72 hours, we will see something big in Alaska. A volcano. I hope that it doesn't erupt.
Fuck you!
So there's a lot of things going on, folks. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you around. I mean, Jesus Christ, how long did it take you to produce that nonsense, man? I mean, do you hear this crap? Do you hear the kind of garbage that I have to put up with, for Christ's sake? I mean, don't you people understand? I am a legitimate political voice now. Do you understand that? I do not need to be ridiculed in this capacity, all right? I'm a capitalist. I'm a credible member of the freaking political media out here, and you people need to respect that. Do you understand that, boy? All of you need to respect that, boy. I'm telling you, you idiots have no respect, no freaking respect whatsoever. Exara Hawks, Radio Graffiti. You come around here, baby, won't hang on, huh? And I slap my dick in your face. You said you sucking on, schlong head. Give me purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Suck my schlong head. Hey, man, that was pretty good. Once again, Exara Hawks, the true capitalist pianist in the house. That was pretty goddamn good, Exara. I hope that you're doing something with that talent of playing the piano, man. It's pretty good stuff. Anyway, let's continue going. Big American Patriot, Radio Graffiti. Folks, I know that this man is complete crap. People thought I was nuts. People thought I was an idiot for supporting Donald Trump. Hey, it's the truth. I mean, I suck Trump's dick for money. You know. Just shut up, shut up, shut up. I'm telling you, you folks, you better stop besmirching the name of Donald Trump, all right? I'm warning all of you, boy. You can talk about me, you can talk about my family, you can talk about my granny, you can talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about, but don't talk about Donald Trump, boy. Do you understand that? This is a true capitalist. This is a true American patriot, and you people need to respect this man. Do you understand that? He is going in opposition to the political establishment. He is slapping the international bureaucracy right in their stupid bureaucratic faces, boy. And you better respect this man, boy. Do you understand that? You better respect this man, boy. Anyway, Teutonic Flag, Radio Graffiti.
Hey, look on the bright side. At least with these floods, you don't have to worry about wildfires anymore.
Oh, you got jokes. Teutonic Flag's got jokes.
Jesus Christ, I can see the trolls have already gotten to this poor bastard, all right? Oh, man, that was cold, baby. We got Cosmo Brockington, Radio Graffiti. Jesus Christ, Cosmo Brockington, for Christ's sake. I never said that, all right? That's a splice, and then you put some kind of goddamn, a jazz band music bed behind it. I really don't appreciate that crap. Jesus Christ, how do you people find time to do this nonsense, man? Tango Whiskey, Radio Goddamn Graffiti.
I like to think that I am a person who appreciates Black Lives Matter, and that's what I'm advocating everybody who's out there to do. Black Lives Matter are actually a decent investment at this point in time. I mean, the market for it is exploding, all right? I mean, seriously, what did a criminal complaint process go for Christ's sake? A couple of mil? It's just ridiculous. I mean,
Jesus Christ, shut up, all right? I am no fan of Black Lives Matter. I'll tell you that right goddamn now, because they are being funded by George Soros, David Brock, and all these other leftist agitating organizations, and basically the majority of the people that are affiliated with Black Lives Matter are getting paid to agitate, act violence, and rabble-rouse, for Christ's sake, man. So don't splice my voice with that crap, boy. You understand that? Anyway, 507 Radio Graffiti.
Hey. Hello?
Shut up! 902 Radio Graffiti.
Yo, Ghost, why do you suck dick for bus tickets and then roll home?
Yeah, just shut up, you stupid moron. All right, you could have come up with something a little bit more original than that. How about 712 Radio Graffiti?
Hey, what's up, Ghost? Meet me at Treasure Island so we can fight, pussy.
Oh, yeah? You want to go down there right now, boy? I'll be down there at Treasure Island, for Christ's sake. Better yet, why don't you come up to West 6th Street, boy? That's where I like to go kick it at anyway, for Christ's sake, all right? You come on down here to West 6th Street, and I'll freaking beat the living bejesus out of your ass, boy. It ain't nothing for me to whoop a man's ass, all right? And you better bring some backup. You better bring some crew, for Christ's sake, because I can take more than one man at a time, boy. I can beat the living bejesus out of about 2 or 3 idiots, all right? I mean, seriously, I go to 6th Street in hopes of getting into a bar brawl, and whenever I see that there's about to be a bar brawl, what I do is I look for the first person that I don't like, either how they look or how they think they are, if they're loudmouths, and once the fight starts, I just start punching that asshole. You understand what I'm saying? I love bar brawls. I'm sorry. It's good exercise, for Christ's sake, man. Anyway, who else we got going on over here? Let's continue. We got Mighty Nate, Radio Graffiti.
Oh, he'll break his legs.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Get off the 386 SX with the 14 4K modem, for Christ's sake, all right? Who else we got? Baltimore Trucker, Radio Graffiti.
Oh, he'll break his legs.
Jesus Christ, man. Get yourself some better internet connections, boy. The People's Republic of China, Radio Graffiti.
You got my dick. I want to take it to my dick. Maybe we can my dick. Maybe together we can my dick. And then my dick is better. Started from might have got nothing to lose. Maybe my dick. For me.
Jesus Christ, how many songs did this idiot write, for Christ's sake? I mean, good Lord, for Christ's sake, man. Jesus Christ. Who else do we got going on over here? 661 Radio Goddamn Graffiti.
Hey, Ghostler. What's going on, man?
Oh, shut up with the Ghostler crap, all right, asshole? Who else do we got? Jesus Christ, we got a lot of people calling up here, for Christ's sake. Gary Power, Radio Graffiti. Enough of the remixes, for Christ's sake, man. God damn it. Jesus Christ. 614 Radio Graffiti.
Ghost, let's make a porno called The Three Musketeers with Teutonic Plague. Oh my.
You son of a... God damn it, man. Jesus Christ, I'm done. All right, that's it. It's over, all right? I'm done with this broadcast. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it, for Christ's sake. I mean, I got no respect. I mean, I'm a capitalist. And I deserve the respect according to that goddamn title. Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm depressed. I mean, I deserve respect. Give me the mic. Give me that freaking mic. I mean, I'm just sick, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, I deserve the respect accorded that title, boy. Do you understand that? Anyway, I'm done, for Christ's sake, all right? Hey, follow me on Twitter. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost. And go ahead and bookmark the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, blogtalkradio.com/ghost, baby, all right? blogtalkradio.com/ghost, all right? Once again, tomorrow is a Baller Friday, and it'll be here, same place, same time. I'll be broadcasting, baby, and we're probably going to have a free format. I don't know, but thank you for tuning in, baby. Woo! And now we are officially off the air, folks. Everything that is being said, everything that's transpiring right here, right now on the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is being exclusively broadcasted to those that are actually on the phone waiting on the horn right now. And if you're listening to me via the Blog Talk Radio broadcast, it's because you downloaded the podcast. All right? Anyway, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. I don't know, let me think about something here. Let me think if we should continue on with the broadcast or not. You know what? I'll have a couple of radio graffitis. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, let's continue it going so people can, maybe have a little treat after the broadcast. How about that? How about 506 radio graffiti?
When it comes to the holidays, the more, the merrier. And at Vons, you get more savings every day for more delicious meals all season long. So stop in today for great deals on all your family favorites. Shop with your club card and pick up boneless, skinless chicken breast, 3 pounds or more, just $1.39 a pound, limit 10 pounds. And locally grown Halos tangerines, 3-pound bags are only $2.88 each. Tastier meats, fresher produce, happier holidays. Vons. Fact is, it's just better.
Jesus Christ. Look, I don't know how many times I got to tell you this, all right? All right, but I am not a Jew, for Christ's sake, all right? Anyway, who else do we got going on? Professor Falcon Punch, radio graffiti.
Oh, we'll break his legs.
Jesus Christ, God damn it. I've fallen and I can't get up. I'm a goddamn cripple. Oh, you son of a bitch. And look, I am not a cripple, man. I'm tired of this stupid little troll that you fruit bowls are insisting upon, insinuating, all right? I don't appreciate it one bit. Jesus Christ. 609 Radio Graffiti.
Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, nigga, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you something. You come on down here to Austin and say that, boy, and see if I don't beat your ass into dog meat. Do you understand that, boy? I'm telling you, you come on down here and say that, boy. I'm telling you, kick the Jesus out of you. Damn it, how about 574 Radio Goddamn Graffiti? I want to mock Hillary Clinton. You son of a bitch, all right? You son of a bitches, all right? You goddamn sons of bitches, man. I mean, that was a disgusting freaking splice, asshole, all right? I really don't appreciate that. Don't put me in the same splice as Hillary Rotten Clinton, that damn criminal. Do you understand me, boy? Jesus Christ. American Truck Simulator, Radio Graffiti.
It's all in fun, threatening Americans.
Jesus Christ, enough of that crap! Cave Johnson, Radio Graffiti. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, do you hear this crap, people? Do you hear the crap that I've got to put up with, for Christ's sake, man? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, this should go to show everybody that wants to be some, I don't know, some kind of YouTube star or something of that nature, the type of garbage one has to go through, for Christ's sake, man. I feel for people that are out here, doing shows or, producing content on these internets, man. I mean, good Lord. All right, 902 Radio Graffiti. Jesus Christ. Hey, 902, you there? Oh, Jesus Christ. Why'd you hang up, for Christ's sake? What are you, Helen Keller, deaf mute? Huh? Did you not have any daddy's influence? Huh? You have no testicular fortitude? Huh? Jesus Christ. Mr. Sev, Radio Graffiti.
But let me tell you something. I'm going to 6th Street. It's Miller time. That's right. Miller time.
Are you kidding me? A freaking wheelchair? You piece of crap! You dumbass! You son of a bitch, you're getting a goddamn sound effect of freaking a wheelchair? I mean, good God, man. I mean, good God. Don't you have any respect for the handicapped? I mean, don't you have respect for cripples, for Christ's sake? I mean, good God. I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, I'm just, Jesus Christ, I'm getting sick of this. I am getting so sick of this garbage, all right? I mean, you understand what I'm talking about? I mean, I'm a goddamn capitalist, all right? All right, I'm a credible political media person out here, right? I deserve the respect accorded that goddamn title, boy. Son of bitches, man. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. Give me that freaking mic, for Christ's sake, man. Don't you understand that, boy? I'm a capitalist, all right? Now I'm a credible member of the political media out here, all right? You people need to start giving me some goddamn respect. And if you don't, boy, oh, God damn it, if you don't, 2 freaking words, baby. Punitive damages. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? I haven't even taken a goddamn drink. I got a freaking glass of Johnny Walker Blue Label over here. I mean, I've been taking so much garbage from troll terrorists and cyber vermin, for Christ's sake, that I even forgot to drink some of this Johnny Walker Blue Label. It's just sitting here, for Christ's sake. Anyway, cheers to the capitalists out there, and I'm talking to true capitalists, all right? Cheers. I got to take it, baby. I'm serious. Jesus Christ. Anyway, folks, let's continue going, all right? We are in the post-show Radio Graffiti, and this is strictly for everybody who's listening in to the podcast, folks, because, you got to have some more content for folks that are listening in, all right? I mean, you don't just want to let them listen into the live show. You want them listening into the post-live show, folks, all right? You want them to download the broadcast, and that's what we're doing. All right, we're going to take a couple more Radio Graffiti calls, and I might throw some thoughts out in my head, and then we're out of here, baby. Then we're out of here. We've got Jim Boyle, Radio Graffiti. You goddamn sons of bitches, man. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I mean, this is just getting me really upset. I mean, this is not a troll here, man. I'm serious. You people are pissing me off with this cripple talk, all right? All right? Look, I made reference to the possibility of me being in a wheelchair as a figurative example, all right? Not a literal example, assholes. And here you are. You idiots are running with it, for Christ's sake, all right? I mean, Jesus Christ. So what if I'm a cripple? Which I'm not. But even if I was, so what? You people are still listening, huh? Anyway, we got Mango Frisky, Radio Graffiti.
Go ahead and put on some fruit bowl music there, engineer. Electric Fence, you make me sick. Haven't you ever wondered why you never had bass in your voice? Because you had this over-feminine, stupid little voice, for Christ's sake. All right? You're sick. All right? You're sick.
Hey, I never said that, first of all. And secondly, I think Electric Fence has plenty of talent, all right? All right? Don't sit here and talk garbage like that. I never said that, you scumbags. Plasma Grenade, Radio Graffiti.
I love to watch my dog bleed.
Oh, my God. That's not funny, all right? That's not funny. I'm tired of you people talking about my dog. I regret even telling you idiots that I've got a dog, all right? And luckily, he's a good dog. You've only heard him bark a couple of times, and unfortunately, he chewed the cord at the beginning when I started this broadcast again. But once again, man, don't make fun of my dog, all right? Jesus Christ. Who else do we got? Do we have any more we got any more people waiting on the line here, engineer? All right, we're going to take a couple more Radio Graffiti calls, and then we're going to just basically get out of here, all right? We got area code 909, Radio Graffiti. Oh my God! You sick sons of bitches, man! I'm telling you, you guys are getting sicker and sicker. You know that? 256 Radio Graffiti. Jesus Christ! It sounded like you were sticking the phone up your shit funnel, for Christ's sake. 248 Radio Graffiti. Jesus Christ, can you shove it up your ass with this Ghostler talk? I'm serious, for Christ's sake. 956, Radio Graffiti. You're just sitting there like a Helen Keller deaf mute, for Christ's sake. 615, Radio Graffiti. God, Jesus Christ. Well, why are you idiots calling, for Christ's sake, man? Gary Brodsky, Radio Graffiti.
Donald Trump sucks the chrome above a 57 Chevy bumper.
You son of a bitch. Look, I'm telling you, I'm warning all of you leftists, you agitators, you liberals, leave Donald Trump alone. Do you understand that, boy? Do you understand that this man is standing for America? He's going to make America great again. Do you understand that, boy? Don't be sitting over here making fun of this man. This man is a patriot, all right? He is leading the capitalist revolution. And I'm telling you, it is a legitimate capitalist revolution. And when we finally take power, each and every one of you leftist, socialist, liberal, communist bastards are going to rue the day. And I repeat this, when Donald Trump is elected, you socialist, feminist, communist pieces of liberal leftist trash will rue the day that you thought that you could sit here and try to talk garbage to the capitalists. Do you understand that, boy? Do you understand that? We fund you little people, all right? We feed you little people. Do you understand that, boy? You better respect the capitalist. If you're collecting a goddamn food stamp, if you're collecting welfare, if you're collecting free money from the government, well, by God, you better bow down and kiss the feet of the capitalist. Do you understand that, you pieces of trash? All right? And you need to understand that you are beneath the capitalists, all right? And look, it doesn't mean that you have to stay there forever, loser, all right? It doesn't mean that you have to stay there and continuously collect government entitlements forever. You can pull yourself up from your bootstraps all right, and start standing up for yourself and start carving out your own destiny by utilizing your creativity, your abilities, and your prowess to do something with yourself, all right? But if you fail to do so, well, then you are beneath the capitalist, all right? You are beneath a guy who cleans shit bowls for a living. Do you understand that? You welfare recipient pieces of garbage, all right? You are lower than somebody who cleans the floor. Do you understand that? And the sooner you understand that, the better, all right? You understand? I mean, I'm sick and tired of all this false pride, all this false self-esteem coming from these people that are collecting entitlements, for Christ's sake, all right? I mean, don't you people understand that you contribute nothing? And you see, what's unfortunate is that people are so against capitalism. Oh, capitalism is so evil. It's so icky. The reason is because they don't want to take the initiative to think. You know what I'm saying? To do things on their own. All right? To absorb knowledge. All right? To apply that knowledge in different capacities. All right? To utilize their own abilities, their skills, their creativity, to do whatever it is that they want to do. All right? They don't want to attain their dreams, for Christ's sake. All right? So once again, I am sick and tired of these dumb, ridiculous losers of society continuously coming out, trying to protest, trying to violently rabble-rouse freaking Trump rallies, demanding free education, demanding free this, demanding free that. You get diddly and you'll like it. Do you understand that? And as I've said before, I strongly advise everybody to please research all these Walmarts that are closing down all over the country. And I strongly advise you to look at those closed Walmarts. They are being taken over by the Department of Homeland Security, all right? And I guarantee you they're not going to house us capitalists in there, all right? I'm not joking. I mean, you idiots, you can fool yourselves all you want to, but the capitalists will not be herded into those freaking FEMA camps. You understand? We will not be the ones being led around by the nose. It's going to be you useless pieces of eater trash that are making not one bit of contribution to society. And what's unfortunate is that if you utilize capitalism, you can go and pursue your own self-interest, and by default, even if you're selfish, even if you're pursuing your own self-interest, you are by default helping the collective good. You are by default helping society. You are by default helping your community, for Christ's sake, by pursuing your own self-interest. And you see, these useless eaters, you know, these pieces of garbage that our tax dollars keep feeding, which of course they keep breeding, is what's causing the problem in today's society breakdown. And look, if you're a child of a single mother, look, I mean, that doesn't mean that you're less of a human being, all right? If you're a child of somebody who's collecting food stamps and welfare and so on and so forth, that doesn't mean you are less than a human being, but you got to get it through your young, thick skull that what your parent or parents are doing is completely fraudulent, it's completely demoralizing, it's completely humiliating, and there is no future for that. Do you understand that? And that's why I know I have a lot of young people who listen to me. I strongly advise you, please, utilize your own creativity, your abilities, your skills to carve out your own destiny. If you are subjugated in some kind of welfare, food stamp-ridden home, that doesn't mean that has to be your future. All right? I mean, if you have access to the internet, if you are within the sound of my voice, you can educate yourself. All right? You can think. You can read. You can learn. Even if you don't know how to read, you look at videos, for Christ's sake. I mean, you can learn anything you want. It's up to you. You are the master of your own domain. And that's what capitalism gives to everybody, economic freedom. And when you have economic freedom, by default, you're going to demand political and social freedom. Do you understand that? That's why these socialists and communists and feminists, they don't want freedom. They want suppression. They want the state to come in and shut everybody up, because they are bamboozled into believing that they don't have to think to become powerful in this bureaucratic system. They believe that by them rabble-rousing, by them agitating violence, by them being paid the beans by George Soros and David Brock, that they're actually going to accomplish something, that they're going to be some vote in the bureaucratic system, and they are falsely mistaken. I mean, do you understand that? I mean, you know, to be a part of this slimy, disgusting government bureaucratic system that you got to be bureaucratically slick. You still have to somewhat understand the politics of sociality, that you still have to initiate yourself on different fronts, for Christ's sake, which is above and beyond everybody who is pussified by feminism, who is galvanized by communism and socialism. I mean, this is the facts. It's the absolute facts. And that's all there is to it. I'm sick and tired of hearing these stupid losers demanding free this, free that. You haven't made a contribution, you assholes. All right, now, it'd be a different story if it was a group of taxpayers that got massively laid off because we were in a Great Depression demanding something from the government because they paid in about 10, 15, 20 years worth of taxes into this ridiculous, sick, disgusting, power-hungry, bureaucratic government. That'd be a different story. But 90% of the losers that are collecting today are nothing. And even if they did contribute, the 8 years that they've been mooching off of the entitlement system far surpasses anything that they contributed to the system. And I'm serious, folks. I'm telling you, you people will rue the day that you think that Donald Trump is not going to be elected. You will rue the day that you believe that the capitalists are somehow defeated. You will rue the day, I promise you. I promise you. And once again, research all these little Walmarts, or they're not little, they're actually big super Walmarts, that are being closed down, that are being taken over by the Department of Homeland Security. The evidence is all over YouTube. It's all over Google. All right? And take a look at, what's going and building in there. They are not going to herd capitalists in there. As much as you dumbass idiot socialists want to believe this, they're not going to do it, assholes. Don't you understand that every government, every single government needs money to survive? It needs taxes to sustain itself. I mean, do you understand that the government would be shooting itself in the foot if it decided that it was just going to go ahead and herd capitalists into a goddamn freaking labor camp? Do you understand that? They'd be shooting themselves in the freaking foot. Not to mention, the capitalists ain't going to be docile and allow these people just to go ahead and herd them in. I mean, do you understand that the capitalists have the guns? Do you understand that? We have guns. I mean, we protect ourselves. We have guns in our businesses. We have guns in our homes. We're connected with one another. We're networked with one another. So I'm telling you this right now, folks. If you are collecting a government entitlement, I strongly advise you to get the hell off, all right, before the shit hits the fan, if you understand my drift. All right, I strongly advise each and every one of these people that are collecting entitlements to get the hell off while you still have time. Because if you don't, you may be one of those ones that are bussed in. And why do you think I brought up Katrina in this broadcast? Why do you think I brought up Katrina? Because Katrina was a drill, asshole. Do you understand that? Now, I'm not going to conspiracy theory this idea that Bush turned on his hurricane machine and hit New Orleans, but I will entertain the idea that something or someone breached the levees to make sure that the lower Fifth Ward and all that other area, the NOLA, all that area of New Orleans was flooded. Because I don't know if you all remember when Katrina hit New Orleans. I mean, Katrina had already went past, all right? And I remember very vividly reporters were already, as soon as it passed, they were like, oh, well, we dodged a big one. I'm glad. And then within minutes after they said that, all of a sudden floodwaters just started coming in out of nowhere, all right? So in my personal view, I will entertain the notion that they blew up those levees, in my personal opinion. And look at what they did. What did they do? They threw in the military. They called in martial law. They started rounding up people, busing them into areas that are similar to what is going to be in these Walmarts that are closed down. A whole group of like football-sized enclosed warehouses with nothing but cots, all right? I mean, this is where this idea comes from. I mean, you understand that Katrina was an exercise in hurting people, all right? And, when you have nothing, all right, when you have no food, when you have no house, when you have no clothes, you have no choice, all right? So you're going to get right on that bus and you're going to get shipped off to wherever the hell you want. I mean, you understand that you have no knowledge on how to take care of yourself, all right? I mean, if you're being fed, housed, clothed by the government, you don't know how to take care of yourself. So if, something happens and the shit hits the fan, you people aren't going to be able to self-sustain yourself, all right? Because you have no knowledge. You have no intellectual curiosity in figuring these things out yourself, for Christ's sake. So anyway, folks, I mean, that's about it, all right? I'm done with this little soliloquy, all right? Tomorrow, same place, same time. It's a Baller Friday, and I think that we're going to continue with this free format edition, for Christ's sake. And if you don't think so, let me know, all right? Politics Ghost is the Twitter account to follow, all right? Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know what you want to hear, all right? Politics Ghost, and of course, if you haven't already done so, folks, please bookmark the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. It is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost, folks. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me on this Thursday edition of the True Capitalist Radio, episode number 247. Tomorrow we will be here, the same place, same time. Make sure to let everybody know, folks, all right? I mean, we're at about 50 or 60,000 live streams, man. I want to make it even bigger than that, all right? So help me, baby. Help me make it bigger. Help me spread it around like wildfire, man. I want 100,000 people. I want 300,000 people, all right? I mean, this is what we need, folks, all right? We need to spread the word like wildfire. Anyway, folks, once again, Politics Ghost is the Twitter name. The website, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Thank you for tuning in with me, folks. All right, long live the capitalist army, and death to feminism, death to socialism, and death to totalitarianism. I'm out of here.